Hi guys, I'm back, and if you're wondering why things look a little bit different, it's because I recorded for about 30 minutes and I realized that I was set up for streaming and not recording, so I didn't stream anything, but it did happen that none of the video recorded, so it was just 30 minutes of me talking into like a black screen. So that's not cool. So there's a few changes and I'll go over them. I mean, they're kind of minor anyway. Essentially what happened was a few things got built. I built a bone carver over here, and everything else is getting built over here. I also set up to build a merchant workshop, the area thingy, over here, and I finished the butcher shop and the kitchen. We got a training area over here, which just trains military people while they're not doing anything. It's set up to do it from 6 to 14 o'clock over here. And I set up for that reason. I also set up a military, and I just gave them a random name, which happened to be the Wretched Emboldeners of Craziness. Beautiful name. And I chose people with the highest fighting skills and sword skills, because I plan on giving them swords. So, that's what happened. The farms finally came through, and they started harvesting them. We got straw enough to make beds, and for that reason also we have some personal quarters down here. A lot happened, I feel, in those 33 minutes. Gosh, trying to recount. I mean, not much in the grand scheme of things, but for one episode it was probably the second most eventful. Not saying much because there are 3, but you know, the first one's where we built all of this, and then the second one we were just kind of waiting. But yeah. So that's what happened, and I set up the kitchen to build always 10 loaves of bread, which you use by typing in whatever number you want in Craft 2. So that means there's always going to be at least, well, not at least, there's always going to be 10 loaves of bread, or else people are going to be, like, baking to make more. So that's how that works. Grove is set up. People are finally, what they do is they first harvest it, and then they clip it, and then they fell the trees, so that we end up with clippings for more, and food, and wood. And we finally got that. I also chopped down a few things over here, and then planted them back. I think that covers everything. I added bags over here and barrels over here, because this was starting to fill up. Yep, and we a little bit more copper down here. Not this much, I just surveyed a big area for a little bit, kind of like that. So that's all, I think. I think that covers everything, I hope. I mean, if there's anything else that changed that you're not sure about or you want to ask me about, like, feel free to leave a comment about that. Also, feel free to leave a comment on the names of gnomes, because they need names, they do. I think that, yeah, so we're just, as for this episode, we're probably just waiting on the axe to give birth. Summer's gonna come really soon, so we're probably going to have our first attack then, and we're just kind of waiting. We need the sawmill. Yeah, I think that's it. We're just, things are shaping up and we're just kind of watching them happen. That's what happens with RTS, is a lot of the times you're just waiting for things to happen. So I'd like to build rooms to make additional little areas. That would be something fun to do while we're waiting, but there's not much that we necessarily need. Normally you build rooms for workshops, but you know, there's not much here. We built the room for the market stall already, and the rest of these rooms I feel could just be in the big workshop room, which we can make a little bit bigger. That's something we can do if we want to add more to that. But other than that, I talked a little bit, oopsie daisies, I talked a little bit in the last game about rooms and their worth. So in case you were wondering, rooms are, well, worth, first of all, is kind of important. So the more, it's a double-edged sword, well, it's bittersweet. It's some colloquial phrase that I can't think of right now. The higher your worth is, the more nomads come in at the turn of the season. But it also means that the things that are about to fight you are going to fight you harder. So you want high worth so you can get more nomads, but you also have to prepare when you have such a high worth. So rooms can help contribute to worth a lot, and the higher the worth is in the room that the gnomes are staying at, basically means they get more out of sleeping, so they have to sleep for less time. So I like to normally add a torch in one part of the room, and this isn't paused if you're wondering, it's just that everyone's sleeping. A torch in one part of the room and a statue in the other part of the room, on one side of the bed and the other, just to add worth. But you'd want to add worth really slowly just to make sure that you won't get attacked and like slaughtered. The thing with personal quarters is that you can leave them vacant when you create them, and nobody's going to take them up. You can either assign a room to them initially, so that way they'll have their own little room. So say you have this guy who does most of the jobs in the little gnome community, and you want him to sleep a lot, so that way he can be working more often. You can assign a room to that specific person. But if you just don't really care and you just say, you know, dibs on whoever gets there first, then you can leave it vacant, and the first person to sleep in that room owns that room. I haven't added beds to these two because I don't like how they look. You know, I can do that now. I want to have them all of one type. I don't like this marbled look. It looks really cheap. So I guess that's what I can do. Replace wall. With the stone wall, we only have basalt or basalt, or I'm not sure how to pronounce that, so we'll just leave that only. And they're, yep, already building that. We also want the floors to be only of stone, so I'll add that in there. And that should fix my problem that I had. Because then I can add beds in there, and I won't feel like it looks trashy, I suppose. I'm not sure why. Like, I don't really care about how much of the kingdom looks, but I don't know, having rooms that are like totally marbled is something that I don't particularly like. Oh, what did I do? So, don't build there because I want you to replace the floor. So, I'll just add that job back right there. Yeah, I don't think I placed these equally, or did I? I guess I did. Oops, whoopsie daisies. I did not mean for you guys to do that. Cancel. I was just trying to see if these are all on the same wavelength right here. Oh, that's where, oh my gosh, I went wrong there. Okay, so do I leave this as 2 wide, or I'm gonna make a 4-person, this will be for a very special person can have this room. I haven't decided yet, but my goof made that room a little bit bigger. I don't mind if the rooms aren't completely symmetrical, because the alternating look looks a little bit cool, where you have a door that doesn't fit in, like, perfectly with the one opposite it. But, yeah, having a slightly bigger room is gonna look a little bit strange, but I think I can settle for that. I'll just, again, put someone very special in that room. Or I'll just let them take it randomly, because I don't actually care that much who has the bigger room. I mean, I don't think the worth would increase that much if it even does, because I need more. If I framed the entire room in something that increases worth, such as one of these engraved or stoned or framed something, then it would probably make a big difference. But I'm not going to do that yet because planks are really hard to come by, and they only help the worth of a room a very small amount, so it's not worth it yet. They're fighting, so they're going to be fighting every day from 6 to 14, which is good because I think goblins are going to attack tomorrow. I could be totally off here, but because it's been a while, but I'm pretty sure that's when they start. I think that's the first time. I don't think it's randomized the first time. And the yaks are going to give birth any day now. I really hope so. I keep saying that, but they're probably going to. So yeah, I talked about the kitchen and butcher shop, I think. And I kind of want to build a well, because wells are just that insurance that if you run out of drink completely 100%, that you can just drink from the well instead. But I've always had a bit of trouble placing the well. Getting it onto, oh, and it requires blocks and planks, which are kind of expensive, but getting it onto the right level. I think this one would work, so I'm gonna put it here because it's close to everything else. And I think that'll work, hopefully. Where is my other yak? They just walk anywhere they please, don't they? Oh, because the rancher doesn't. I should create a trough. I can do that now. I have the bed for it, or the bed. I don't know why I said that. That wasn't even a good Freudian slip. I have the stone for it. I guess I put it. They're gonna come out of here, so it would probably be best for my rancher just to put it over here, somewhere in this area. It doesn't cost that much, I don't think. I didn't look when I was. It cost 1 trough to make. Really? I wouldn't have thought that placing down a trough would require me to make 1 trough. But how much is the trough itself? It's probably stonemason right here. How much? 6 blocks. Oh no, 4 blocks. We have 6. Okay, that's cool. The sawmill, it is amazing how long it can take a single sawmill to be built. We just need a few more supplies, and yet it just takes so long. I wonder what he's doing back here. Is he idling? A lot of people are idling. I guess they're just, yeah, there's nothing to do while the farm isn't. I can tell them to clean up, and maybe they'll clean up some stuff. I mentioned last episode, I think it was, that idling was a bad thing, and then I need to figure out what's wrong with them. If they are idling, which they are. Doing a terrible job. Come on now. Only have 1 job, which is tending to the farms. I am clicking on all the wrong things, and the farms are full of stuff. So everyone's idling. Apprentices are idling. Is that... We ran out of logs. See, there's the problem. Always need to find that thing. So I guess... I didn't have that last time. I didn't have a log counter until, I think, for like a long time, and I was always wondering why my people weren't doing anything. It's a really good idea in hindsight. And I always want to make clippings because, you know, I don't want to ever end up with like so few clippings that it's hard to maintain a tree population. It's easier to just mass clip them so you can mass plant them later. So we don't have to worry about that. And I also want to fell these ones because they're they're bare and they don't really have a point. So, guess I'll do that. That was rather rude of me to the tree, actually. They do have a point in life. They provide all the essentials. They're very good trees. I think I hurt their feelings. They're inanimate little feelings. Yep. So, they're still working on this, and they're finally actually working. Because they got the logs they need. It really slows down. It's a sneaky kind of production slowing down because they're not doing anything, but it's not something that you see as obvious. Like, if your miners aren't doing anything, that's obviously because there's nothing yellow down here that needs to be carved out. But if your workshop people aren't doing anything, that could be like because of a dozen different reasons. They could be doing something else. They could just, as in this case, not have the supplies for it. Maybe they all died. But for the like mining, it's fairly obvious if you see them running around and this isn't getting. Oh wait, we got nomads. Oh my gosh, guys. Galof the Nomad, and Dewhinkle. I like Dewhinkle. I'm not changing a thing about Dewhinkle because Dewhinkle is amazing. So what are his skills? He has... What's jumping out to me? Crafting. Crafting is pretty good. Yeah, he is a crafter. Is anything else high? Animal husbandry. I could put him as a rancher, but I really don't need that many ranchers. Medic looks pretty nice. I don't think I have any doctor careers lined up. So I think I'll have him as an apprentice. And I'm pretty sure, doesn't the apprentice... Let me check that. I do like the name Nomad, but I think the apprentice works with doctoring? Oh, it's just caretaking. I'll have him specifically as a medic as well, so I'll put him as an apprentice plus, maybe? Because he's a little bit more than an apprentice. And that was Dewhinkle, right? Yeah, that was Dewhinkle. And Galof. What are you good at? Mining is definitely one of them, and... yeah, cooking. I can have him be a miner and then also work a little bit with cooking. So yeah, because that means, it also means he works with the metal crafting stuff, but you know, with this point he doesn't really do much if he's not mining. But if I have him set up as also a cook, then he can do some other stuff. So miner plus. I just want to put the plus there. I mean, oh, did I not save that? Oh no, okay, cool. I just want to put the plus there, just, it's extra, in case I forget, like, what they're doing, or they're doing something that it doesn't look like they should be doing, like, for example, the miner starts cooking. I have a fair idea why. Are my fighters, are they getting any better at what they're doing? Of course you're not going to let me click on you. I'd have to pause the game, but I don't want to. There we go. Yes. Sneak. Pauses in anyway while I look at them. Yeah, the fighting, I think the fighting is getting better because you didn't see me when I was selecting all of them, but I'm pretty sure when they were, like, they were all kind of low in fighting. I don't think anyone was above 13. 13 was probably the highest I could expect from a fighter. And the farms are just running without anyone to, like, do stuff with them because they're all practicing, they're all training, which I suppose is a good thing because you guys, it's gonna happen one of these days, we're gonna have a goblin attack. And our people will be mildly prepared and only a few will probably die. It'll be amazing. Normally only the fighters die. So, oh, the well is finished, and is it working? The well has access to water. Okay, maybe, I don't know what I was doing that first. The first time I tried to get a well, it was just very difficult to set up, but I guess you just have to get onto the specific level. I guess a level above, to get the well to work. Are you guys gonna give birth yet? They're so stubborn. It takes them so long to, like, what's the word for that? I feel like I should know. I feel like it's such an obvious science word. Jess, it's not gesticulate. What is that word? For giving birth, or not holding birth, what is that called? I can't think of it. I'll probably flash it on screen if I care to look it up when I'm done with this. But, oh, that's gonna annoy me mildly. What else annoys me mildly is that they didn't put these in, probably because they were filling in the rest of the walls first. Yep, that is a mild annoyance right there. So I think I'm actually going to maybe create a hallway over here that goes into the back. And have, yeah, I think this is gonna happen. So I'll have little beds over here. So that way they can get to those walls and fix that problem. I think they will be able to. I hope so. Or else I'm gonna have to tear a wall and build it back up, which isn't a terrible situation, but it's something that I'd rather not have. And the little doors. And I don't know if I want this to just be like an extra space, kind of like this area is, or if I want to fill it with a room, because we're not actually, that fits in really perfectly. It does, but really we don't need too much room because there's just so much room to build rooms that it doesn't make much of a difference if you waste a little bit of space, but it fits so perfectly. It'd be a crime not to do that. They can't actually reach that, which is good because I didn't build this in the right area. Building right through. Whoops. What did I do there? Can't target 3D landscape. Foiled me again. Okay. That should work. Yep, it's green. Now somebody's getting to work on that. I can build... Where's my furniture? I can build a bed in here. So now one more person can sleep. They were filling up in here, even with, like, I think I only had 3 rooms at the time down here, but they were just filling up in this dormitory. Oh, I also called it a dormitory, which I think that helps with their sleeping boost, but it doesn't help as much as personal quarters. So yeah. There's no reason not to label it, and it makes the floor all nice and pretty blue. Kind of like this one. I guess that one's more teal, or maybe it doesn't look any different? I don't know. I mean, the yellow for the storage is the same as the yellow that's under all the workplaces. I don't know. Oh, this looks amazing. I'm gonna replace some of the walls so I can get to building this, or to using this area. With basalt, or basalt, or whatever the kids are calling it these days. I think I'll look that up afterwards. I'll probably, you know what? I might as well use my editing powers for good. I'm gonna flash on screen the actual pronunciation in case you guys don't know as much as I don't know. It's probably everyone knows. This is probably a very simple word, but gosh darn English, and it doesn't tell you what kind of sound a vowel has. I think it's basalt? Basalt. Feel really silly when I look it up. Feel even sillier if it's one of those weird words that has like double pronunciations where it doesn't really matter which way you say it. That would just be icing on the disappointment cake right there. Plant a few more here, so we're never running out. We do have enough logs, and I think where did my mouse go? Okay, I think that's because of this grove is really helping regulate that. But I think I might want another grove eventually. Problem is placing it, because I do want to put a little boundary around where my farms are. But I'll eventually add another grove, because this definitely isn't enough. It's not even helping with my little tiny 11 people. Oh, okay, they didn't come in summer. It's not even helping with my little 11 people village, so I'm gonna need a few more groves here. It's not even, they didn't come. I was wrong. I was terribly wrong. I wonder when the goblins are ever gonna come. But, I guess we'll find out in the next episode, probably. Oh my god, a baby yak! Yes, we shall definitely deal with this in the next episode, because it is time to go, guys. So, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.